Call of Duty is a game of legacy. Lots of guns show up in one game and then they come back in another. Sometimes they show up over and over again. Now, some guns are rather consistently good with their appearances. Some others, they've been all over the place. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. Today we're going to be talking about 20 guns from COD history that were great in one game, but absolute trash in another. So you let me know which gun comes to mind when you're talking about OP to trash, maybe trash to OP. Drop a like on the video, and I think the obvious one will be the first one. Start off with the Barrett 50 cal. Now, it's had a few different names throughout the years. Sometimes it's the Barrett, sometimes it's the M82. One horrible time, it was called the Rytec AMR. Now, this semi-auto beefcake of a sniper was introduced as this insane powerhouse that could instantly drop people from any distance, and it also gave you some great clip potential. You had the fast ADS, you had the solid fire rate. It was a recipe for success. But even though the classic Modern Warfare trilogy had 3 great versions of it, the post-Warzone era, not so lucky. The Modern Warfare 2019 version was garbage. In the Black Ops Cold War version, it was pretty divisive. Black Ops 6 kind of got things back on track with the Barrett. But this definitely deserves to be on a list of guns that have been both OP and trash. Before we move on, guys, if you're looking for a gift card, look no further than G2A.com. They have gift card sales going on all month. The link is at the top of the description. Go take advantage. At number 19 today, the AK-74U. Now, I will say it's been relatively consistent throughout the years, but there have been some underwhelming versions of it that absolutely did not live up to the original's reputation. The AK-74U debuted in COD 4. I would call it a top 5 gun. Then it came back in the original Black Ops, where it was, again, probably a top 2 gun, let's be honest. But since then, things have been up and down. Black Ops Cold War version was good. The Modern Warfare 2 2022 version, underwhelming. Black Ops 3 version that was in supply drops, flat out garbage. In fact, I would go as far as to say the Black Ops 3 version was trash. Felt like a pea shooter compared to every other version of the gun. It was a lame remake of an iconic SMG. You may not want to go that far, but it's my list, and I'm absolutely going there. Compared to other versions of the gun, the BO3 version was trash. And when you try to remake a legendary, iconic Call of Duty gun, you gotta get it right. At number 18, the FFAR, the FFAR, the alternate version of the FAMAS. It was introduced once again in Black Ops 3. Then it returned in Black Ops Cold War. Now, neither version was insane. Neither one of them were as insane as the classic BO1 FAMAS, but they did do a good job at playing the same role, at least for a little while. The Black Ops 3 version of the FFAR was really fun. It was strong. And the Black Ops Cold War version, it was good at launch, but after a little while, Treyarch decided to nerf the Cold War version like crazy, to the point that it wasn't even worth using. I really don't know why the nerf was made so drastic, because it's not like the launch version was OP, but they did it. At number 17, the trench gun or the combat shotgun. World War II era pump shotgun. It's appeared a few times throughout COD history under a couple different names, and it's been pretty varied in terms of quality if you ask me. Most of you probably remember the COD World War II version being insane, and then the Vanguard version had really good potential as well, but how many of you remember the World at War version? Because that version was one of the worst shotguns in COD history. Horrible ammo capacity, terrible range. It was the full package of terribleness. I don't even think that's a word. Everyone has their own favorite version of the trench gun or the combat shotgun, whatever you want to call it. But absolutely nobody picks the World at War version. This gun needed a hefty nerf after that disaster. At number 16, the Uzi. The Uzi. It's appeared many times under many names in COD history, with some versions being some of the best in their class, others being the worst. Everybody remembers just how awful the Black Ops 1 version was. Well, I do. The horrible recoil, pathetic damage profile, but how many of you remember the insanity that was the WSP Stinger from Modern Warfare 3 2023? Yeah, that was an Uzi. But how many of you remember how underwhelming the Modern Warfare 2 2009 Uzi was? How many of you remember how underrated the Modern Warfare 2019 Uzi was? Yeah, the Uzi has appeared a lot of times throughout COD history, but it's not consistent. There's no middle ground. It's either up or down. Seems like it's really strong or really forgettable. Black Ops 1 version was terrible, right? So I guess it made a name for itself? I don't know. Everybody remembers you all the wrong reasons for the most part. At number 15, the Macarov. Now, this pistol made its COD debut in the original Black Ops, where it was arguably one of the worst pistols in COD history. It was the D word. It was dinky. It was weak. It was useless. And that's crazy, because the villain was the opposite. Then Infinity Ward decided to bring it back in Modern Warfare's reboot as the Psychoff, where, it broke the game. I mean, they gave it a full auto mod. They also gave it an akimbo option, and they gave it an 80-round drum mag. I mean, what did they think was going to happen here? Honestly, this has to be one of the craziest gun glow-ups in COD history. Had to be on the list. At number 14, the AUG. Man, the AUG has had so many different iterations throughout the years, mainly due to how customizable the weapon is. The platform, it's been an assault rifle, it's been an LMG, it's been a tactical rifle, it's been an SMG. Basically, it's been everything except a sniper and a shotgun. Now, certain AUGs have been excellent. The Black Ops 1 version comes to mind to me. Others haven't really had that luxury. Raise your hand if you remember the SMG version that showed up in Modern Warfare 2019. I mean, how many of you were trying to use that thing before just giving up and never touching it? I tried so many different lab kits with that thing in the gunsmith, it just didn't work. Black Ops 1 version, solid competitor to the FAMAS. Modern Warfare 2019 version, absolutely useless, but it had to be somewhere. At number 13, speaking of useless, the Olympia. Now, if you know me, you know I don't like the Olympia in any of its iterations, but if we're talking raw stats, it did experience a pretty intense improvement. The original Black Ops 1 Olympia was one of the worst shotguns in COD history. We all know that. Arguably the worst gun in the game, next to the Uzi. But then, when Treyarch brought it back to Black Ops 3, they gave it a pretty hefty buff. Now, I didn't really think about the BO3 version or think that it was any good as other people did, but I do recognize that it had way more potential than the other one. And now it's in Black Ops 6 too. It's only a matter of time before people discover some broken gunsmith build they probably already have, so I wanted to give it a shout out. I mean, I don't know if it was quite OP, but it was a huge step up from the trash BO1 version. At number 12, here we go, the F2000. Now, you all know the F2000 was trash in the original Modern Warfare 2, right? You know that. You can tell me in the comment section you agree with me. You may not want to admit it, but you know it deep down. The recoil, come on. It was really, it was high. It was up there. The damage was really low to keep up with the insane rifles that you had at your fingertips in this game. And it was the last unlock. The grind for this thing. Sledgehammer, been trying to give this gun a bit of a redemption arc over the last few years, and it might be working. I mean, I'm not on board, but whatever. The F2000 was brought back in COD Vanguard for some reason. We still don't know why. Or it was okay. Then it was brought back again in Modern Warfare 3 2023, where it was really good. Mainly because you could reduce that recoil to an insane degree and make it a laser beam with a really high rate of fire. The gun was actually kind of fun. I mean, when it's not refusing to stay on target like it did back in 2009, it's all right. At number 11, the PM63. There were so many trash SMGs in the original Black Ops, and this was one of them. It fired quickly, recoil wasn't too high, but it also had horrible damage and a very pathetic 20-round magazine. You were never going to get much work done with this, especially since you were going up against the AK-74 and the FAMAS every 5 seconds. But then, Treyarch decided to bring the PM back as the AMP-63, and they gave it a buff. Fire rate was toned down quite a bit, magazine was kept small, but it was also moved to the pistol category, so you could put it on every one of your classes, and it had the gunsmith, which meant you could load it up with attachments to make it way better than the BO1 version could ever dream of being. With the right attachments, this machine pistol could be better than a lot of the full-size SMGs in Black Ops Cold War, and the fact that it all started with a useless little Black Ops 1 SMG, it's kind of crazy. At number 10 is the AMR9. Now, this is a weird case because the AMR9 debuted in Advanced Warfare as the first ever 5-round burst SMG that nobody liked because it was really bad. And Sledgehammer brought it back as a full auto SMG in Modern Warfare 3 2023, and it was really good. Now, I'm still not entirely sure why Sledgehammer decided to bring this gun back and change it, but they did. Like, why did they make the AMR9 into a full auto SMG when it started as a 5-round burst? Why not just make an entirely new SMG for Modern Warfare 3? I don't know. I'm not complaining that Sledgehammer fixed the legacy of this weapon, though, because, like I said, the AW version was bad. Modern Warfare 3 version, lots of fun, super powerful, handful of attachments. Maybe Sledge just wanted to fix their mistake with the original 5-round, and the only way they could do it was getting rid of the burst altogether? I don't know. Definitely fits the list. At number 9, the M4. It's usually intended to be the middle-of-the-road assault rifle. You can use it and pick up the fundamentals of the game, learn how to aim, learn how to shoot, not have too much resistance from the recoil, not a huge learning curve. That being said, some adjustments have been made to the M4 over the years. It's led to some versions being way better than others. If you want to talk about the OP versions of the gun, I think the most obvious examples are the ones from Modern Warfare's Reboot and Black Ops 6. Maybe arguably Infinite Warfare, if you want to count the MV4s and M4. But then, if you want to see the opposite end of the spectrum, Look at the classic Modern Warfare 3 version where the M4 was useless. I will say that the Modern Warfare 3 version is probably the only bad version of the M4, but clicked on a video of guns that have been both OP and trash. And the M4, it fits that bill. It's been OP many more times than it's been trash, but it has been bad. At number 8, the MP5. Pretty sweaty reputation now. While this gun has appeared tons of times throughout the series, it's been up and down. A lot more than the other SMGs in COD history. Now you may be thinking of some of the amazing MP5s, Modern Warfare Reboot, Black Ops Cold War, Black Ops 6, but on the other side, you have some absolutely worthless ones showed up in classic Modern Warfare 3. It's one of my least favorite SMGs in the franchise. If you never used the MP5 in the original Modern Warfare 3, you're okay. It was truly useless. But then you fast forward to the Modern Warfare reboot, and the MP5 is one of the most beloved SMGs in the entire franchise. I mean, if it doesn't deserve a spot on this list today, I don't know what does. At number 7, the STG-44. It's been overpowered in several games, in a row actually, starting with COD World War II, but if you're an old school player, you know that wasn't always the case. Back in COD 4, it was arguably the worst gun in the game, and it was the last gun you unlocked. I know, you fad lovers out there, which was almost insulting, and yes, I know it was called the MP44 in the game, but we all know it was the same gun. Recoil, terrible. Damage, subpar. Fire rate, look, you couldn't put any attachments on it, so you were stuck with all these default crappy stats. At number 6, the Deagle. The Desert Eagle. The COD 4 Deagle, amazing. Modern Warfare 2 Deagle, amazing. Modern Warfare 3 Deagle, absolutely trash. I have no clue what happened. The Desert Eagle made a name for itself with the great 2-shot kill range, the firing sound, the recoil was high, but it was manageable. Then, the Modern Warfare 3 version had worse damage, an ugly gun model, and completely terrible firing sounds. Again, I don't know what happened. The whole point of the Modern Warfare 3 one was to be this epic send-off for the trilogy. But they took one of the most iconic weapons from the first 2 games and they completely ruined it. Now we arrive at the top 5. The Dragunoff. Now, I wasn't going to put this gun on the list. Then I remembered the Black Ops 6 version of the Dragunoff, and it fits. This gun, it's been the worst sniper in COD history. But now, you have it in BO6 dominating lobbies because of the handling and the generous one-shot kill range. Black Ops 1 Dragunoff, almost unusable. I mean, it was terrible. The fire rate, the damage stats, handling. Now, there have been other Dragunoffs between BO1 and BO6, but the BO6 version, easily the biggest upgrade because that version is absolutely busted in the right hands. Now, I have a little bit of a personal vendetta against the Drag, but I can recognize when it's good. At number 4, the 1911. Now, it's appeared in almost every Call of Duty game. Seems like the quality goes up and down like crazy. Some COD games like Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare, it's top tier. Other games like COD 4 and World at War, it's arguably the worst sidearm in the game. And then there's other versions like the COD World War II and the Modern Warfare reboot where it seems like everybody has a different opinion on whether it's worth it. I mean, it's kind of crazy how all over the place this gun has been, but I guess it kind of makes sense when you consider the fact it's one of the most popular firearms in the real world. Obviously going to show up quite a bit in the world of COD. So tell me in the comments, which version you think is the best of this? Which one you think is the worst? For me, I think the Black Ops 3 version is pretty easily the best, while the COD 4 version has to be the worst. At number 3, the M16. Same thing. It's been in so many COD games, and naturally the quality, it goes up and down. There's no middle of the road here. It made its COD debut in the original Modern Warfare. Best gun in the game. Brought back in Modern Warfare 2. Wasn't nearly as good, but still really good in the right hands. Underrated. Then things got inconsistent. Black Ops version, decent. Modern Warfare 3 version, trash. Advanced Warfare version, even more trash. Black Ops 3 version, incredible. Black Ops 4 version, okay. Black Ops Cold War version, very strong in the right hands. Then Modern Warfare 2 2022, arguably the worst in the franchise. How does a gun go up and down like that? I mean, I guess we're in the number 3 spot. Literally, it's been everywhere on the tier list. At number 2, the AN-94. Was introduced in Black Ops 2 and is considered by many to be the best gun in the game. Fire rate was great, damage was solid, recoil was non-existent, the reload animation was smooth. But ever since then, we have not gotten a remake that properly recaptured the greatness. In fact, some of the AN-94 remakes have been flat out terrible. There was the Black Ops 3 version. I thought it was horrible. Some people liked it. Fair enough, I guess. Then there was the version in Black Ops 4 that was decent enough, but everybody forgot about it. Then there was the Modern Warfare reboot version, which was completely trash. There's been other versions of it throughout the trilogy, but when a gun makes this strong of a first impression, it's hard not to be disappointed when none of the remakes come close to the original power. And at number 1 today has to be the MP40. The drop-off between World at War and Black Ops 3 needs to be studied by scientists. This gun went from the objective best gun in the game to the objective worst, which is incredible. In World at War, the MP40 was a 2-shot monster. Everybody was spamming the entirety of the game's life cycle. Then it was brought back as a supply drop weapon in Black Ops 3. It caused outrage in the community because it was quite literally the worst gun in the game. It was a hit marker machine, horrible fire rate, the recoil sucked, and Treyarch had to patch it a couple times to make it worth taking into battle at all, but by that point, it damaged its reputation. It was done. Now, there have been other MP40s since that. You had Vanguard, COD World War II, but they were okay. Black Ops 3 version, whew, it was an insult after the World at War version. It really was. To me, this is the best example of a gun that was so OP in one game and trash in another. I mean, can you think of a better example of a gun that's been on both ends of the spectrum this dramatically? Because I honestly can't. There you go. Let me know one more combo I forgot to mention, and I'll see you soon.